How's it going, everyone? It is good to see you. Welcome back to another video. This is actually the first video recorded for Make the Switch this year. And while we all want to look forward into the future on what we assume is going to be another great year for Nintendo Switch, sometimes you gotta do a little bit of backtracking, ladies and gentlemen. What's that old proverb? You gotta know where you've been to know where you're going. Something like that. Yeah, I know I pretty much butchered that. But today we're going to be taking a look at one of the more important games to release on Nintendo Switch. I'm of course talking about Doom. That's right, y'all. You requested it, and thanks to the amazing team over at Bethesda, who actually provided a review copy for this video, we're going to be taking a look at Doom for Make the Switch. Now, like I mentioned earlier, y'all, Doom on Nintendo Switch is actually more significant than people realize. This game coming out on the platform, its sheer existence answers a lot of questions, and it paints an interesting picture about the future for Nintendo and third party. So we might as well just tackle that first question right there. What is one of the biggest problems that Nintendo has had in recent memory? Well, you can't really say in recent memory since they've been dealing with this since the N64, but Nintendo has had a big problem securing quality and consistent third-party support. You name it, it's not coming to a Nintendo system. That has been the biggest problem with Nintendo consoles. They just miss all the big third-party games. And while some people are perfectly content with that, it's pretty bad for the console as a whole. When your console is relegated to a secondary system dubbed the side piece of gaming, what does that say about your system? It's only relevant for exclusives and nothing more. But here we are with Doom on Nintendo Switch. Doom right here is a very different Nintendo Switch game because this title is huge. Not only is it a recent game from a very big publisher, it is one of the more demanding games to hit the system, which answers the second question. How well is Doom going to run on Nintendo Switch? We've seen a bunch of Wii U ports and indie games on the system, but we haven't seen something recent, something demanding, something that exists on PlayStation and Xbox. And, well, it answers that question too. So we might as well just address the elephant in the room since I know people are going to be talking about it. How well does Doom run on Nintendo Switch? As I'm sure you guys have seen by now from the various in-depth analyses that exist on YouTube, Doom on Nintendo Switch actually runs how well you'd expect it to run. I mean, the Nintendo Switch is essentially a tablet after all. So while going into this, I knew what to expect. I knew I wasn't going to be getting the best version of Doom. I gotta be honest with y'all, I'm playing this and I'm actually having some fun with it. I know, it's very weird, right? This is a guy who owns Doom on PlayStation 4. Why in the world would he drop everything and play it on a tablet with lower than low settings? Because it's Doom. That's right, y'all. I know you've heard this before, but Doom is Doom, and Doom on the Nintendo Switch is about as Doom as it expects. TLDR version of this video is essentially this. Doom on Nintendo Switch is everything you love about Doom in the palm of your hands. And while I know we like to avoid the whole it's portable excuse, it really does apply in this situation. Because when you're looking at a game like Doom, right? This is a very recent game. This is a game that ran 1080p, 60 frames per second on the other systems. On Nintendo Switch, you're not going to be getting that. It's pretty weird to say how they got this game running on the console. It was ported by Panic Button Studios. They did the port for Rocket League, and they're also doing the port for Wolfenstein 2. So if this is any indication of the future, it may give you some insight of what's to come, because the game runs at a weird dynamic reconstructo resolution of 720p, and it runs at 30 frames per second. So that right there on paper, you think to yourself, oh man, this game is going to run terribly, because if it's running at this weird resolution and a low frame rate, like how could you possibly get a Doom experience? Because the game is stable. The game is smooth. So whatever Panic Button had to do in this situation to get Doom running, to get the Doom experience, they made it work. Of course, there's a couple of setbacks, and they had to draw back on some of the things that people loved Doom for, in terms of like the really high fidelity visuals and the special effects that happen in the game. If you can get past those things, you're still getting a more than playable version of Doom. I was playing this game, and the more I played it, the more engrossed I got into the game. Now you can attribute that to the fact that Doom is fun as hell, but when I was playing it on Nintendo Switch, it didn't really seem to me like, okay, I'm just playing this game because it's portable. No, this is Doom. It still runs like Doom. It's got everything you love about Doom. It's got the original campaign. It's got the multiplayer. It has all the DLC, so they didn't skimp out on that. The only thing that's missing from this version of the game is the map creator, map editor. But to be honest, I don't know anyone who even uses that. Your mileage may vary on that. If it's a big deal to you, then don't pick it up on Nintendo Switch. Everything else is here. Everything you love about Doom. It's just that it runs on a portable and it doesn't look as pretty. Yeah, it doesn't look as pretty. I gotta stress that because people are saying, oh, you know, it's gonna run worse. It's gonna run like shit. It doesn't run like shit, but it's got some things about it. The visuals, as I'm sure you can see right here, they look a little bit blurry. That's actually not the camera's fault. It's the game itself. It has this weird like coat of Vaseline on the game. It's very evident if you're playing it outside. It looks very grungy, but when you're playing it indoors in some of the more compact levels, the game does look better, which is to be expected. You know, it's not as intensive. But as it stands, man, this is Doom. I think if you've never played Doom before, picking it up on the Nintendo Switch is not a bad idea if you don't own multiple systems. If you do, what are you doing by this point? You haven't played Doom? It's like $9 on the other consoles. For Nintendo Switch, man, it's actually surprisingly decent. I think that going forward, if Panic Button is able to optimize the system more, we could see better performance out of something like Wolfenstein 2, but it remains to be seen. I'm having fun with Doom. I'm going to be playing it, and if you guys want a full-on review or more gameplay or something more in-depth, definitely let me know. For me to you for now, my name is NGS, signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.